How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video. I'm Jamie with ScrubGames, and today I'm coming to you with my deck profile, my second place deck profile using Dark Broly in the CardMarket online webcam series event. Um, it's a really good event, really fun. I know I did get after playing it why people complain about the webcam events because some of the quality for some of the my opponents wasn't very good. I tried to make sure that everything was visible, field, hand, so they had a clear view of everything. But it's not the case. It's not the kind of thing that everybody tries to make sure they do. But all in all, I had a lot of fun. Ended going 5-2, 5-1, coming second, and had a lot of fun games doing it. And it was just really nice because I haven't been able to play in real life with a proper deck since the start of the whole situation with the virus. But going on with the deck, what I would say as well is if you haven't played in the webcam event and are looking to go into a webcam event, I would recommend it. It's really fun and it's worth it for the price. I see it's worth it for the prizing, and also if you make top 16, you get into the invitation to the finals in December. And it's just a lot of fun to play. There's a lot of good, fun players, good players, and it's nice to. There's a lot of variation in the decks and meta. So I'm going with the deck. So I went with this deck because I come from before this. I played Yu-Gi-Oh and Final Fantasy, and I played Yu-Gi-Oh for a lot of years. And one of the things that is the same with this game, or with most games in general, that was in Yu-Gi-Oh is free playing cards, like not having to spend anything to play a card, is busted. So like with the Dark Broly's, you don't have to invest any energy in it. You can just warp 6 black cards from the drop, black battle cards from the drop, and then play them. So things like that, meaning you could basically leave your energy for anything else, is busted, and the deck generates a lot of advantage, and you draw a lot of cards. Like in my last game, I was able to draw a ton of cards, which helped me survive their last turn before I finished them off on my turn. So what the leader does is he's got an activate main. Once per turn, add up to one card from your life to your hand. Look at the top 5 cards. So reveal, have a peek at the top 5 cards of your deck, and you can set up the 3 black battle cards with 30,000 power from there to your drop, and place the rest at the bottom in any order. As an auto, when it attacks, draw 1, and awakens when your light at 4, draw 2 and flip over. And then on the awaken side, to activate effects, activate main and battle, activate main and first effect, you can put 3 black battle cards, 30,000 power back from your warp to your drop, draw 1, and then activate battle, where you can choose a black battle card either on your field or in your hand, that's 30,000 power, send to the grave to gain 5k for that battle. So it's a really good deck. It's a really good leader. It the one thing I like about this deck, and one thing that drew me towards this deck, was that it mills, but it's a controlled mill. Like unlike with burst decks, where you just send the top cards of your deck. It's not random what you send, so you don't end up losing things that you would like extra cards, super combos, things like that. You only send the cards that you can recycle and reuse, because none of the 30k battle cards in the deck are ever lost. They're always recyclable through one of the tiles, and it's just nice. It allows you to fill up your deck thin, which just means you can draw more cards that you want, and also fill up your deck graveyard ready for the or drop for the Broly's and stuff. And having a draw on the front sides means you can still get some advantage, which is nice. So when you go in second, you get that draw. And, with this leader, I found that go first or second, it doesn't matter. Either way, you got an activate main and self awaken, which self awaken is nice, meaning that you're not forced to be stalled by your opponent, and it just draws a lot of cards for it. And on the awaken side, you got the ability to put back 3 in your drops. It means you can use more of the Broly's effects than just once. Like you can warp 6, play 1, put 3 back, and if you've got enough for another one, keep dropping. So it means you've got a lot of reusability and still draw on both sides. And then the activate battle is really strong in the fact that if you do drop, say you drop all 3 of your Broly's on the field, Swing each of them, you swing 30k a piece. So that's a lot of combo. Either your opponent's taking a hit or comboing a lot of cards that are forcing the super combos to try and prevent damage. And then during your turn, you can either use them when your leader attacks, offensively sack them off, and it doesn't matter if they're in attack position, like if they're in active or rest on your hand. So you can sack with them, then sack them off either when you attack to go up to 30k, or defend by using them after as well. Because that's what a lot of people were surprised by when they've played against, when I've been playing Dark Broly, play against me, is that I have the Dark Broly's in rest. They didn't realise you could sack off the ones that are in rest to gain the 5k, which is a nice thing when they didn't realise that. But overall, the leader is very strong. Self Awakening is a plus. It's great to have Self Awakening so you're not stalled. And being able to draw on both sides is a big benefit, because there's some leaders that are really good that don't draw on the front side, like with the Surge leaders, Tower for example, things like that. And draw 2, I find it's a lot better because you don't really need your energy in this deck that much. So like drawing 2 giving you more cards, is a lot for more plays, is really nice. A lot better than untap 2 for this deck. And with the deck, it's basically got the standard core of Dark Broly, where it's got each of the Dark Brolys, play a set of each, because you want to see, basically you want to play them more from the deck than you do from the drop, so you can deck fin, because deck finning is deck winning. The super combo of choice is the SSG, because one, it draws with the Babidi Errata, good at 15 is not as great anymore, and the Vegeta is more that you can put stuff back in your deck, so you can put, if you've got Dark Brolys in your hand, put them back in your deck so you can play them from the deck. Or one thing I like to do with the Vegeta in combination with the Mechagabura and the Tower Union of Magic and Science, is if I've got a ball in my hand, send the ball back, and then to draw 2 new cards on the top, and then in my turn either play the Tower or activate the Mechagabura's effect if it's still on the field, or after playing it, to then grab that ball back. So literally I didn't lose anything by putting the ball back, because and that's the reason why I only play 2 balls, because it's easy to grab back, it's not pivotal, like you don't really, like it's nice to have it with the Broly, but sometimes they clog, and all they do is they need the 1-drop Broly to be able to play a Dark Broly, and apart from that they don't do anything apart from give you 5k boost. So I limit that down to 2, so I can have more options for battle cards and stuff. But we got to play 2 of the Unison, because it's really strong. Because it's a black Unison with no specified cost, you can play it for 1, which is nice, but you don't really want to play it until you started. So turn 1 you're never going to play it. You don't normally get to play it turn 2 or 3 depending on until you've warped stuff. Because it's got a nice +1 in the, where you can put 2, where it's like a miniature of your leader. It's got a permanent where you can't attack unless you've got 3 markers on it. So if you play it for 1 +1, you're not going to be attacked with it, but at least you're getting a benefit of putting more in your drop for food for your Dark Brolys. +1 allows you to put 2 back to gain a marker, 2 30k black battle cards. So with your lead, if you got that on the field, leader, you put back 5, which is really strong. And then the -4, which you don't really use often, is you get the choose your Dark Broly leader. It gains 15k and put back 8, up to 8. I think it's either 8 or up to 8 30k battle cards to the drop. So normally you can swing with it and then trigger that if you want to. I didn't do it in the tournament. I never used that effect in the tournament, but I have in other games tapped out on turn 4 after playing a Dark Broly, and then put 8 back to give my leader a 30k boost. So I've got more field brand, more Dark Brolys and stuff. And then the other standard cards, we've got the 1-drops, we've got the Broly and both Towers. They're really strong. The Broly allows you to bring out the Dark Broly's cheaper. The Tower Union of Science and Magic allows you to basically gain advantage. Like normally that's my normal turn 1 play, is playing the Tower to search for the ball. So next turn, because with the leader I can hopefully find one of my 1-drop Brolys from its effects into the drop. So turn 2 I can play it and use the ball and then grab back the ball to keep that advantage going. And the Ever Tower allows me to, is really good in the fact that if I've got a Broly still, like say I've got the Broly Demon Realm Avenger, so if I got him on the field from the previous turn, I could swing with him for 30k, I would put the damage in or force him to leave some cards to out combo it, use the Tower, sack it off to grab back any 30k from a drop, so grab back the overarm cards if I want to, if I want to play one of those that turn, or grab back one of the 1-drops, and then I can then play back the Broly using this effect, or by using Broly in the ball. So, and that's what I mean by, and that's how it is the reason why I say 30k is lost. So like with the 30k's you can use in the combo, or use the leaders activate battle effect. And that's another point as well with the activate battle effect is, as you can see, I'm running one of the Fu's 10-drop, the Fu Shroud of Mystery and Mirror Creator Absorb. They're 10k 1-cost combo power, but with the leader's effect, if you don't have energy open, you can still at least make them 5k. So no card is really dead in the deck, really. As long, well, the extra cards as long as you've got energy with the Protect the People, and the other ones, all the 30k ones can at least be 5k. And then with the overall choices I got is the SS4 Bardock and Mirror. So with all these are the only 4 units I run. When it comes down to it, I might end up removing one of the mirrors. Not 100% sure yet for the new what's it called, the demograph in Draft Box 3, because the mirror Assault from the Skies is helpful. In fact, there's a 30k double striker that draws me a card and untaps the energy on my turn, so I've got an energy over for Protective People or for Power Burst, so I need it. And the Creator Mirror Sword is a lot cheaper to overrun, has the flex, so it can't be stopped in blue. And then attack, when it attacks, if they don't have a negate, it's going in for a lot. Because you can always warp a lot in this deck. But what I'm finding is I probably will cut the Mirror Creator Absorb, just because same with the other ones, like the mirror, at least with the Mirror Assault Disguise, still draw a card and untap if I overrun. The only thing I've got to watch out is in blue, but that goes, the only thing the Mirror Creator Absorb has over the others is that it has deflect, so against blue it's more beneficial. But then, as I did with my last opponent in the round and the tournament, I was able to bait out their counterplay, their God Seeding Technique Trunks, and then go for my overrun. And with the Mirror Creator Sword, it can still be killed, like the Ever Mirror and Bardock with the Freezer, but then it doesn't get its effects, it needs to attack. And even in blue, even if it was got deflect, blue normally always has a lot of negates, so it's not as beneficial. Where the Broly, at least on play, warp stuff, will come in for a bit more, come for 2 energy, but it's they're overrun, but it comes with darker overrun, so it's stay, so it can survive for another turn. At least then draws and warp stuffing, and then swings. Then when I swing, it take out a card from their hand. So I probably will replace the mirror for it. The Bardock was really good. It's really good in providing me with two extra 30k swings, and be able to warp 2 cards from hand. And the good thing about the warping out the hand is it allowed me to pick. So I got to choose which 2 cards rather than choose dead cards in hand to pick. Get the gamble because I get the pick. And the Fru was it's just a finisher for if I do not a lot of time I went to turn 6, but in the event I did, Fu was basically my closer and able to shut off everything. While it did warp 10, I could still put back 3 with my leader, and then when I swing with my leader, because I won't be able to have negates because of Fu, I combo off a load of stuff to then start reviving out some Dark Brolyans to start using their effects, and also putting in a lot of damage because 30k is nothing to scoff at. And that's really overruns. And the secret rare choice was the Dark Dragon Balls. I went for this over Black Smoke Dragon or Gogeta. Gogeta is not. I don't see the point in this deck because once you play it, you don't really get rid of it. Is if you combo with it, which you don't really want to do, and while it's on the field, you can't play anything else. Which in this deck, you normally like swing with everything, you sack them off, or use combo with the leader and then replay it stuff, which it doesn't fit. Black Smoke Dragon is easy to counterplay. So it's easy to counter it or remove it because it doesn't have barrier, doesn't have deflect. And with the Dark Dragon Ball, it's easy to fill up my drop with a lot of battle cards. And then a good thing about it is I can clear my opponent's board, so opponent gives a boonie. If on their swing, on one of their swings, I can play this. So at the end of the turn, all the battle cards go to drop, and it gets through. My boonies can't be killed because the kill just sends, and then it clears the footboard I have to worry about. And same thing with Fu. If there's any decks where they have fill up a board, say if before Fu I can play the Dark Dragon Ball, so add an extra card in the drop for Fu for his overrun, and then make sure the board's clear. So when I do drop Fu, or drop anything to swing. There's no blockers to defend or anything, so it's easier to generate for game. And also, I played 2 Protector other people, because as I said, against blue, a Booney is an issue where it drops 4 bodies and it makes you lose quite a few cards because they're swinging for 3 15Ks and 20k. So protect people helps against that by negating the first attack, and normally if they attack the leader, negate the attack, and then anytime you attack over a battle card, you're gaining 5k each time. So that prevents their turn. They've paid 4 for their turn, you've paid 1 to stop it. I didn't really use it that much. No, normally because the only time I had a bully dropped on me, I survived it, and then as I said, did the Dragon Balls to get rid of it. The only other, and along with the other red card we got is the Kai. The Kai's in there because it's so strong. Be able to drop double strike because with the deck, apart from the mirror and the Fu, everything's single strike. So it means you have to put in 8 actual connecting attacks to kill your opponent. Whereas with the hidden power on a 30k body, on a plant body which is already 30k power, 40k double strike is normally going to connect and how it finish off. And with the Creator's Orb as well, it guarantees going to finish off. And with the other cards, we've got Power Burst, the standard black staple extra card that negate attack is normally what happens. I normally try to go to 4. As soon as I get to 4, defend my life, and so I have at least 3 Power Bursts I can play for free, and then 1 I can use leave an energy open for. We got the Trunks as well, because not only Trunks is really strong in the fact that it can be used offensively or defensively. So if I'm trying to defend like in the webcam format is the best of 1. So there's a lot of things like Gohan. So against things like Gohan, I'm normally giving out the Dark Broly blocker, and one thing that I could block first swing, use the effect of my leader if it's awakened to send the Dark Broly blocker to gain 5k, because it's not just on the leader swing, it's on any swing. You can use the leader's effect, and then because the Dark Broly was sent by a card effect, I can then free play the SS3 Gohan to have another blocker to defend. So it's really good defensively in that way. And for anything like what I did with Gotenks as well, because I did play Gotenks in round 3, is when they kill one of my battle cards, I can then free play the S3, so I can block one of the Gotenks attacks. And then what I mean by it could be used offensively is then you can like drop your stuff, then you swing a leader, sack off 1 from the field, and then play the SS go on, so you can then swing for a free 15k then as well, so it gives you an extra attack. And then the last card that was basically the MVP is Mecha Gabura. This card was very good because where it's a best of 1 format, it didn't have a side deck. So if I wanted to, so normally Mecha Gabura would be a side deck, but I'm considering just keeping it as a main board card now, because one, it does switch up the Summer Star Ball. So the good thing is, as I said before, with the Vegeta Super Combo, put back a ball, draw 2, and then Mecha Gabura can grab that ball back, so you've not really lost anything. And it's really strong. Be able to work with my I played against 2 decks where it became useful in was against my last rounds in round 6 with, against Zamasu, and in my round 2 against Broly Swap. So against Broly Swap, I was able to play it, cool 4-drop, so you couldn't swap into the 4-drop Broly BR, so you couldn't swap into it, and I was able to remove the 3-drop without being able to, because made sure before he awakened, because he left his awakening open because he couldn't really do much, and I was able to play the Mecha Gabura, cool 4-drop, and then warp his with my 6-drop Broly, warp that Broly, so he couldn't start the chain. So you can go back in the chain if you want to, but he couldn't go further than the 3-drop, means he wasn't taking anything out of my hand, and he wasn't really doing much on his turn. And again, as I said as well, in the Zamasu deck, I was able to play it, cool the Abuni, so you couldn't Abuni on the turn, he was able to do it, and then put in a lot of pressure. And then on my turn 5, when I was trying to push in more pressure, I was able to play it, cool the 3-drop Trunks, counter the prospect heroic prospect from the TP TP10, so you could negate and stop the rest of my attacks from my big Broly, so I was able to go on and so it came in really handy. And also as long as it survived, I was always able to grab a ball back from deck by putting it back, making sure I kept one in hand, either to use if I needed it, or put back with my Vegeta and then grab back with the Mechagabura. But that's the deck. Went very well. So with my rounds, I played against round 1, Vegito, the blue one. Unfortunately, that was a win to me because my opponent's connection wasn't very good, so they kept cutting out. And as they cut out for too long, I was given the win. Round 2 was very swap. With this deck, as I said, with the fact that it draws so much, I was able to out advantage, and where he wasn't able to get the 6 drop to drop on me. He couldn't find the 6 drop, didn't really have any super combos, and where I deck fin so much and draw so much, I was able to see a lot of my super combos to help defend, and also he wasn't able to get enough combo power to finish him off with his man on a mission. Because with this deck, you can be very defensive with the super combos and the power bursts, able to stop attacks. It just always out combo it, because with the way the super combo is amazing. It's putting back deck cards like the Unison if you draw it, or the Test of the People if you don't have the energy, the Secret Rare or the Kinds if you don't have the energy for things like that, for the ones that aren't black battle cards for AK power. Then you can put them back in the deck to draw 2 brand new cards, which hopefully will be combo power. And round 3 was the one game I lost, which was against Gotenks. It was a really grinding matchup. I was Mechagabura handy in that by before my opponent got to turn 5, so on my turn 4, so he went first. Before he went to turn 5, he had a Frieza on board, and I was afraid he was able to, probably be able to 3-player 1-drop Gohan, drop a Goten, and then go in Zeno. So what I was able to do was play the Mechagabura, call the Gotenks 6 drop, so you can drop that again on his next turn. So it was a lot harder for him to go into Zeno if he did have it, which he didn't. And it was able to grind it up by every time. You know, drop the rare Dark Broly to warp one of the targets from his drop, and one from his hand, and then warp the Broly, so he only got 1 piece back from his Dark Broly, from his Gotenks, sorry, and put pressure. But unfortunately, when it comes to his second from last turn, he was able to put a lot of pressure in, but I was able to defend it, grind it out to defend, and then when it came to my last turn, I ended up drawing 2 cards. I had one I kept in hand, and I drew another one, and unfortunately I just needed to put 2 attacks in, which were met with Dormant to allow the first one to go in, and then the second one was stopped with Negate. So Dormant plus Negate ended up sealing in the game, but he did very well and be able to play it that way to stop me from finishing him off, and he was able to finish me off the last turn because I didn't have enough cards to stop me, and he had plenty of cards to make me discard. And also a way to do is get me down to 1 because the Vegeta Unison is busted. And lastly, next we had round 4. We had Reboot Gohan. That wasn't too bad because with this deck it's really defensive. I was able to get out the Dark Broly, defend, and I had negates, and all I had to do was focus on the leader. I could out combo everything out. The smaller battle cards. It's just the leader out to negate or block, and then where they get their life so low, and with my battle cards being 30k, it means they're losing a lot of they're wasting a lot of cards to defend. When it comes to this last turn, I was able to whittle them down, whooping cards out of hand, and then drop the mirror to finish off with a huge swing to take that last life. Round 5, I played against Mad Vegeta. This one I was worried about because from when I was testing the deck. It was turn 3 they could argue because they're all going for double strike swings, and unfortunately with this leader, it was until you awakened with a lot of the battle cards have 0 combo power. You can't really out combo a lot of the attacks if you're unawakened, so he's able to put me down to 2 life quite quickly. But then he wasn't able to finish off, and I was worried, but until I saw that he wasn't playing the Boo Zeno package with the raw absorption Boo, I wasn't as worried because I can always it was a lot easier to defend attacks with that than with little weenie swings. I was able to easily stop that with negates and combo enough, but and in the process fill up my grave ready for the crackback with the big Brolys. But whereas if he had the Zenith Boo chain, I would have been more worried because he was able to drop a lot more attacks from that, because you get the leader swing, double strike, you get the first boo, then a second boo, and then which then goes into the raw boo for another 2 swings, all for mostly for double strike and high power, where the other ones that were the ones he was using were just 15Ks, which weren't that much of an issue. And his hand wasn't that high from the fact of this, that he was putting a lot into the early swings, so I was able to out combo them and not have to worry about having a large hand. And where he's taking his own life, I mean, I didn't have to do too much damage to him because he was doing it to himself. And then the last round we had Zamasu, where I was able to win a die roll for that one, and was able to basically draw a lot of cards, awaken quickly as well, and where he wasn't able to awaken turn 2, I was able to just keep pummeling at his life, and then once he got down to 4 life, it was just he was able to awaken, but I was then able to keep swinging with a lot of things to force his resources down. And he did make an error on the last swing, but on his last turn I did have free power burst and on 4 life, so I made sure once I got the 4 life I wasn't going any lower unless it was for very big swings or a first kill turn before I got to my turn 6, and he was able to he ended up using the ramp of his Zeno to get an extra energy, tap out to play the Parasite one to give us, and use the effect to give his leader make his leader 30k double strike and also dual attack. And the first one I had 1 energy open and 4 life, so I was able to I tapped 1 for the power burst, which he used the baby on, and unfortunately he only comboed 1 card under it, so I was easily enough to out combo that with the cards I had in hand. And now second swing, power burst, grab back a 1 drop, power burst the ape as well to get back a 1 drop, left me on 2 life, and then he went end up having no more energy, but then overwhelming into the Mass and Secret Identity to try and finish me off, but where he didn't realise I was on 2 life and not 1, and didn't have any energy open for any double strike or even have the Kai Champion in hand. And then after that I was able to, on my turn, use Dark Broly, trying to get out Dark Broly's to force out his counterplay Trunks, and then swing the leader, sack off a load of cards, which ended up killing, but I was able to drop Fu that turn after, good at 10, drop Fu, and then finish him off, and then that ended up putting me in 2nd place. With the deck, I found it wasn't too difficult to pile up because I've had a lot of experience with the deck, and I've just basically played this deck a lot, and I've gotten used to it. But this is probably the lead deck, the main deck I would use for best of 3 as well. Like it's very strong for best of 1. It's got a lot of utility against a lot of things. It can be very defensive against the aggro decks, and very mid-range and offensive when you want to be. Like, it's one thing you got to be with the deck is you got to adapt situation, because you can play this deck either aggressively, defensively, or even just go for hand control. But you've got to adapt and change up your style depending on the matchup. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. One thing I do want to shout is if you always support your locals as well. So like buy from your locals, support them, because if without locals you have less chance to play. Because I know while untap is good to play online, it doesn't replace in real life play. Playing with your actual cards. But outside of that, if you do want to buy cards and you want to buy products out of that, go to Bath TCG. They're really good. The owner is really nice, really helpful with anything you have. If you have any requests or anything, really great. Link for his for the site will be down below in the description box. And as I said as well, if you haven't played in the Webcam event, I urge you to. It's really fun, and the pricing is really worth it. And that's it. A lot of fun. And so this is my deck that I probably won't be using again. I'll be using different ones because I've qualified for the December finals. But if you're interested in this list, I thought I'd give it out there and give a brief description about what my rounds and also reason for the cards. Because I did before this, I did have instead of the Mecha Burrs and potentially I was tempted to use the Paragus just to get some crit in, so that way you can be more controlling. But then with best of one, I took it out, putting the side deck cards that would be Mecha Kabura and Collector, but I'll probably stick with that for the foreseeable future. 2 on the balls, perfect. Because if you draw too many, all they are is combo power. Unless you're able to get multiple Brodies, but then you're using a card from hand when you can just play it from drop. But that's it for now. It's been a while since I've put something up because I had a recent move. As you can see, the background for me is different. And I'll start putting out regular content and also maybe try and film some of my games next time I do a tournament. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy my channel and want to see more from me, and also if you have any advice or any questions I haven't covered, just put them down below and I'll answer as best I can. But thanks for watching. We'll wait to this 'cause it's been quite long, and see you in the next one. Bye.